a dungeon like that. Whereas this game I used to play, even though it's one of these dungeons I used to go to called BDD, it was a hard as fuck dungeon, but it was a multi-level, like 10-level thing. But if you just go and grind some levels, you'd only do like the first section, maybe 180 it, come back once they'd all respawned, and then grind it back out, going back towards the entrance point, or go on to the next section, maybe grind that a little bit. But you wouldn't really go any further than that, because after that your ass slapped. But there was a section after that, for second section, you go to the third section, there's a mini boss room, where if you could have one Taoist, which was basically your support character, and one, say, warrior or something like that, which is your main heavy, tanky sort of heavy hitter, you pretty much with just that combo, if you'd done it right, you could basically lure out one of the mini bosses out on his own and then fucking slash his ass. Do it one by one. There's about 10 mini bosses in that room. So if you went the right time of day, you'd just get about 10 mini bosses and all the drops to yourself. And they take about an hour to respawn, so even the respawn on that zone wasn't that bad. So it was done quite a lot. Or you'd get a wizard that would do it solo, because then you'd just glitch them on the corners, and the boss wouldn't quite figure out how to get round the corner if you set it up quite right. Or you'd get like a clone ability, so then you'd clone yourself, and that would pin him in place. So he'd be more interested in your clone than he was actually you. There's so many elements to that game I fucking loved. But that's now, from what I just got told tonight, supposedly that's in the stages where there's three big companies competing to have it. One of which is Blizzard. So yeah, it's awesome. And the bit I loved, I think I'm nervous because Blizzard and what they've got their game. As long as they don't change it, the core game, and they leave the core game, they can add their own little features to it. There was even an American company that did take this game on for a short while, and they put their pot cash scheme into it, an American pot cash thing. Which even that I said wasn't that bad, even though some companies do it in such a way, it makes it like more pay to win sort of situation. But this one had done it pay to get advantages, but generally all the things you could get through that you could also get by literally buying it off of other people half the time. And the advantages it was a percentage chance better, Like you definitely have like these like items like fishing rods. It was a percentage chance. You'd have a better percentage chance of picking up something around these special times a day when you was fishing with it. But it wasn't like a normal average Joe with a crappy fishing rod couldn't get the same thing though. He'd have just a lower percentage chance of getting it. So it was like not exactly pay to win. It was just pay to make it more in-game money. Pretty much is about as far as it went. Most people that knew how to play the game like from the olden days and whatnot could grind it out good enough at it themselves anyway to not even worry about it. But yeah, but from what I've heard though, any of them that take it on, as far as I know, they're all going to turn it back to the original game instead of even this other games and other modders and whatnot, people that have taken over the coding over the years. And there's even another one that's made their own rendition of it again, supposedly it's running at the minute. And I even said to my friend, I said, yeah, I'm probably not going to get on that though, because I'm one back, and I found out the original one is coming back, and they're going to drop all this extra crap that's been in it, because they had three major classes: a warrior, a wizard, and an assassin. Not assassin, warrior, wizard, and a Taoist, which is your three main sort of base types. And like the Taoist have its own sort of magical side of things, but it's not the same as a wizard's magic. More of healing and creature abilities, like he can spawn in his own couple of creatures that are quite powerful really once they're leveled. As well as he can do a bit of physical attacking as well. So Tao's got a bit of a mixed entourage. But in say a group fight when you're going to clear a dungeon, my God, you want a Taoist. No matter what, there's always someone's going to say, no, who's the Taoist? Who are we getting in for a Taoist on this group? Because you'd have like a 9-man group or something like that. You'd at least have one, if not possibly two Taoists as a backup Taoist or something in there. And then you'd have like so many wizards and about 4 warriors as your front line and stuff like that. And together as a group, you just fucking blitz over some of these places really well. But yeah, so it worked well. And then these other companies that took it over thought, oh no, but this is an open fourth slot that the original company put in the game. And I thought, oh, we're going to fill it. We're going to make out we're doing something. We're going to fill it. They put in this thing called the Assassin. Fucking OP as hell. Kills like in a PvP rooms, it used to kill a wizard straight up. And it's not supposed to be able to kill a wizard that easy. Between a warrior and a wizard, you'd have, the wizard to keep out from under your toes, and the warrior would have a little bit of a struggle, but the damage a warrior could put down in a single hit would outplay the amount of all a group of shots that the wizard would have to put over time to kill a warrior. So, you know, it sort of evened out quite well there. The same with the sort of difference with the Taoist and the Wizard and stuff like that. However, this Assassin absolutely wrecked. Got like a paralyzed ring. Could hit so fast and so much damage, because it had the same sort of damage dealing type as the Warrior, that then it would basically get one paralyze on a Wizard. That would be it. The Wizard's dead. So it was OP as fuck over there. As well as the fact you then compared it to a Warrior, it would just outscale the Warrior, because it had damage close to the same as what the damage of the Warrior had, but then also it had a lot more attack speed as well as its passive. So it had an ability that boosted its attack speed, so then it would hit the same sort of damage as what the Warrior's hitting in like half the time. It's just like, what the fuck? So it just outclassed the Major 2 front line. It would just outclass both of them. So then everyone went for that, and it just became completely OP. And it just kind of wrecked the game from the inside out. So I suppose any one of these companies do take it over, all going back to the original coding and doing it from how it should have been done, and then push on from there, because there's even maps and extra dungeons that were never actually brought into the original game, even though the coding's there for them. The maps are there, they're just the entrances weren't put in. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's supposed to be, suppose even Blizzard have said that, or I don't know if it's all the companies have said, but at least Blizzard has said that their idea is to do it as a free-to-play game, or even these other companies, supposedly they've got so many pay-for games, they're going to do this as a free-to-play game. And that's when I came out with the comment, well, even if they do it as a pot cash scheme, it wouldn't bother me, because as long as they've done it like the other one's done it before, you know. It wasn't like they made it, yeah, it wasn't OP, you know, it wasn't like, oh yeah, if you pay for this pot cash scheme, then, oh yeah, you get the ultimate weapon. I mean, you could. There was, the only thing that was along that line is you could get the ultimate weapon, was there was like a lottery chest that you could buy through the pot cash at one point. So you could buy this chest, but yeah, it's like the luck chance. I think someone actually done the math on it once. It was like 1 out of like 1,000 or more that it would take to get this ultimate sword for the Warrior. But then again, that's how it works, you know. But then you've got lots of other good items, you know, that you could sell on, and they'd be good, or they'd be just sometimes you get some crap ones, you know. Yeah. I mean, there was like, they wouldn't give you too much shit items. They'd still give you good weapons, or say if you got one that was specific to weapons, then you'd get weapons, but you wouldn't get like the dirt shit ones, the ones that you could get by killing some, you know, beginners mobs. You'd get like ones that would be worth a little bit, but not as much as the one you was aiming for. Or you'd get Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, yeah. Multiplayer, yeah. Oh, I know what you mean, yeah, with the chests on that. The whole time this whole pot owned it, this particular game, I heard of, throughout the Warriors, it's only including the Warriors because I was a Warrior at the time, so I actually to it a little bit, find out of these chests, actually managed to get the ultimate sword, or one of the big, you know, bad motherfucking swords that everyone wanted, which is called the SWOG, which is short for Sword of War God. I heard supposedly there was only about 3 people that got it out of these chests. And there was like hundreds of people playing it, obviously, hundreds and hundreds, and you know, in the thousands somewhere. I never actually looked into it to find out how many people were actually playing on the podcast server, but supposedly only like 3 people or so got a Sword of War God out of it. But there was lots of other things, like there's a DSS, which is I can't even remember what it's short for. It's no, Dragon Sword Slayer. There you go. Old names for you, but so yeah, DSS Dragon Sword Slayer, and that was a nice sword. That's like a level 40 sword, you know. They added on 10 levels just before. It's I don't know. It kind of works. When you, because mostly people use the shorthand on it, like obviously SWOG, which was Sword of War God. But it kind of suits it when you imagine the character, and then this sword is about the length of the character, apart from it hangs out the front of the warrior. So you look around town, you would know the warriors. The warrior would just be that, especially the level 40 warriors, or you could get a fake one, as we called them, fake ones. But it's like DDSS or something like that, I think it was, or something random. But it looked the same, apart from it had like -2 A speed on them swords, so there was good damage, a little bit less damage than the level 41. You could get it at level 36, and it was 2 less speed on the actual weapon, so then you'd have to add speed back on, or attempt to put it on the weapon. Not an easy feat. But it would be good, but it was, you know, nightmare. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it still looked good, but then people would check your character and go, oh no, that's the fake one, and then just turn away. But you'd know who was level 40, because then obviously if it was a person with a level 40 armour, which looked pretty fucking epic for a warrior in my opinion. Same as the wizard stuff did though, you'd know they'd all have, you've got level, fuck's sake, level 1 starting crap armour that looks like a little carpenter's suit or something, you know, a little villager's suit is basically what it looked like, in my opinion. Level I think armour, which looked a little bit better, like looked like it was tailored for running around, you know, foraging through the forest and sort of killing some, you know, shitty little animals. And then you get your level 22 armour that actually looked, for a warrior, it looked like a green sort of thing, that looked like a suit of armour with a bit of sort of, you know, actual bit of armaments to it. And wizard would get something the equivalent of, but that looked a bit more mage-like. Same as Taoist, you'd get something that looked more like his class. And then you'd get the improved version of that at level 33. I mean, yeah, definitely, I'd say you've got to imagine, like, if a warrior looking like a knight, apart from it be more old, like Days of Dragons and Mystical Monsters RPG style. That sort of style of looking like a knight. So you're in, yeah, it's a knight sort of armour, but it's physical on the battlefield. So you get like the level 22 and level 33, which always used to confuse me, but they always used to look the same, apart from you actually check the player's stats, the stats almost doubled in like defense and stuff like that for that character. So like obviously the mage would then have AMC stats, which is magical defense, and then the AC stats is like physical defense. I still remember how every stat and how everything works in that bloody game, but I haven't like played it in Yongs now. Not the original anyway. Legend of Mir. Yeah, it was, back in the day, and this is like, no, not 20 years ago, this is about 10, 15 years ago, when I used to play the original one. There used to be a couple of games I saw actually on a channel that since died, like fucking 12 years odd ago now at least. Turned into Bave Station, ironically. But that channel, it used to be called Gamer Network, or Game Network. Used to be a channel just like that for over here on Sky TV and whatnot, and then we used to watch that, and it was that actually gave it away to me one day when I was like, what, no, 12 years old or something? 12 years old, maybe 13? I can't remember. And I saw it on this Gamer Network, and it's just like, oh yeah, yeah, today I'm playing Legend of Mir, and we're just about to have a big team fight in the main battle room. And I'm like, oh my god, look at this game. And it's just like, big epic battle scene, and there's all this one fucking team on one side, warriors, wizards, fucking Taoists alike, and all this other side's got the same sort of thing, and you couldn't pot in the room either, so you can't just pot a health potion to save your ass. It's literally whoever outplays whoever. But yeah, shoot that game off, and I was like, oh my god, that looks amazingly epic. I want that fucking game. And that was it, really. Then it was waiting for broadband, pretty much, because I did try. Everyone else was playing it on dial-up at the time, because broadband wasn't over here at the time. I don't even think broadband was really established in America properly at that point. But it was literally like, so I tried one day setting it up on the dial-up to download the program, even though it's only megabytes nowadays compared to what we download now is gigabytes of programs. That's literally still in the megabytes. And it came up with an estimated download time of roughly 12 hours on dial-up. So I was just like, nah, I can't really cost much. So I decided against it, and then we got broadband. I downloaded it, the first thing I downloaded. But yeah, I fucking love that game. There's probably still videos of it on YouTube and shit like that, Legend of Mir. I doubt very much they've been pulled. Like the original one. but I haven't looked them up in ages. But then again, I used to play the game